In order for any family farm or ranch to make the transition from one generation operating it to the next, sound business principles must be at the core of that transition. And that usually has to be fleshed out over time, according to Duane Hund. He's the director of the Farm Analyst program out of Kansas State University, which assists production agriculture families in business planning. Duane stresses that when multiple family members are involved in the succession of the operation, realistic economic outcomes of the transition must carry the day.
Finances are a big issue. There's a lot of farm families that have excellent working relationships. There's good leadership, but the problem is we don't have a pie big enough to cut to fit everybody that wants to come to the table. Watching our needs for disposable income for family living and making sure that we can have a business that will provide a standard of living that the families are all hoping to achieve. The dynamics in the family often are related to patterns that have been in existence for many years. I've seen a lot of 35-year-old sons that feel like their dad still treats them like they're teenagers instead of a business partner. And so we need to facilitate some communication and help them understand that there's times when you wear your dad hat, but you also have to remember that you're wearing the hat that says, I'm your business partner, and we need respect for each other. One of the things I like to tell the retiring generation is their security in their old age has a lot to do with how well they train their successors. And I like to tell farm families that conflict is really healthy for their operation. They need to look at the constructive way of looking at things and challenging one another. We need to think about the importance of what various opinions can bring to an operation that can really improve it.
As far as developing the vision for where to go with the actual succession and how to accomplish that, what sorts of elements have to go into that to make that work?
Well, that's the facilitation angle that we're talking about. And my biggest thing that I try to do is to get to the root of what the issue is, because so often everybody's wrapped up into what the symptom is, but they don't really know what the root problem is. An example would be where we have a difference of opinion as far as how much we can invest in a new enterprise. So there's a lot of conflicts between the retiring generation who is risk averse and the new generation who is more interested in taking those risks, and try to find a common ground there that will satisfy both them and their lenders.
When it comes to the nuts and bolts of actual financial planning, though, and making sure that that planning is of a realistic nature, Duane, accomplishing that, what are the challenges?
Well, I think the challenges are that we're realistic about our expectations. If we're going to expand an enterprise, we need good fundamental ideas of what that's going to involve. A lot of times people, the younger generation coming in, wants to maybe step a little further than they could, and I try to caution them in looking at an investment in a new enterprise or something, and look at the bottom line, make sure they understand the risks that are involved. So I try to blend the goals of the incoming generation, the successors, with the realistic expectations of the retiring family, and find some common ground there. And using fundamental analysis and data and working with the lenders and understanding where their positions are and what they have to look at in regards to meeting their requirements gives us the ability to find usually some kind of common ground that enables that new generation to really go forth and work hard and bring some new ideas to the operation, but not to the extent that we jeopardize the viability of it long term.